Hello friends, as you see, this time I'm not greeting you from my kitchen, I'm not cutting fruit. It's night, around 10:30 p.m. where I'm currently at, and instead of preparing my dinner, or usually you see me cutting fruit for lunch, this time I'm getting ready to swing kettlebell before going to sleep. And this is not my usual routine, so why? Why am I doing this tonight, and why am I addressing you today from this position and this situation? I want to share something sort of personal with you. Today I'm doing this because I ate so much that I felt embarrassed of myself. And it was a couple of days ago that I talked about binge eating. The video itself wasn't specifically about binge eating, but I mentioned how I have this tendency. And the issue is not that I ate too much, it's that it was a rough day. I'm recording this on the 24th. It's Christmas, and even though I'm not celebrating Christmas, I'm not Catholic or Protestant or any other Christian, how do you say, demonition, something like not uh, part of Christianity that is celebrating Christmas this time, because Orthodox Christianity celebrates Christmas after New Year. So no, this is not my family holiday, but I'm just walking around the city where I'm alone, and everyone that I know and care about is on the other side of the world. So it wasn't the best day watching families have their day off together and go on lunch. And not that I didn't like seeing them, I'm happy for them, but it also felt kind of lonely, Then I kind of went into a downward spiral, because I started thinking, okay, this is not my holiday, but I'm looking at these people, and I started thinking about my best friends who are my family, who are like my family, and I started thinking how I talk with them on the phone maybe once a month, sometimes twice a month. But let's say that during the year we will have maybe 20, but I think it's more close to 10 long phone calls, and with those that I'm especially lucky, I will see them once or twice a year. And some of them I haven't seen for, I think, more than 2 years. And I started thinking how many times I will see them again in life, and how many times will I talk to them, how many really long heart-to-heart conversations we will have. I started thinking about it, and it didn't feel good. It's good that I thought about it, because it created a sense of urgency to really set that as a goal above all business goals and above all personal development goals, a goal to talk more and try to spend more time with my friends. When I say friends, I'm not someone who has a big friends. I'm talking people who are truly my family. And then I remembered my mother, and of course I thought, how many times will I see her again in my life? Because all those people live in Europe, and one of my brothers, my best friends, lives in USA, and I'm in Asia, and I don't plan on going back to the West in near future. Definitely not long term. So I started thinking, how many times will I see them, and how many times will I see my mother again? If I'm going to be seeing her once or twice a year. So it was kind of a downward spiral. It didn't feel good to think about those things, and it didn't, as much as I'm happy to see other families together, it wasn't really pleasant seeing so many people together. And this is not a sob story. I'm alone, and that's it. And at this moment, I'm alone. But I have to say this. Maybe this rant is not interesting to anyone, but I just want to share. However, with all of this, there was a choice: go back to my room that I'm renting and stay in bed, or engage in some sort of escapism right away. But I didn't do that. I took my laptop and went to work. And I can proudly say that it was a really productive day. I did some quality work, really, really quality work. So I did what had to be done, regardless of how I felt, regardless of that. To be honest, I felt sad today. But there is two sides to this. I'm not saying this to brag. I'm saying this to prove that and to encourage you that it's possible to do the things that need to be done, even when you're sad and lonely and feeling down. But I also want to acknowledge this other side, that usually in these situations, when I get things done, I feel better. But this time I didn't. And that's just how things go. Sometimes a productive day kind of helps you forget about what's been troubling you, and sometimes it doesn't. This time it didn't. I really had a great day of working, and I did an amazing workout, really, really good workout. But I still felt kind of empty. And since I didn't and don't want to engage in escapism in the form of alcohol and psychoactive drugs, I went to something much more acceptable for me and for most people, and that's food. And now I will not discuss what exactly I ate, but let's say that I ate for 4 people, because that's embarrassing. This is embarrassing, but the restaurant had this offer that looked interesting, and I asked for how many people is this, and they said it's for 4 people. Are you alone? And I can do it. Please give me. And it wasn't even, to be completely honest, it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. I can eat a lot. But even for me, it wasn't enough on a psychological level. But I think everyone who saw me in that restaurant felt a bit uncomfortable because I'm not the biggest guy. I'm sort of tall, or at least decent height, but I'm not really that big to eat for 4 people. And yeah, it didn't feel good. It didn't feel good afterwards, and I knew it, that the ridiculous amount of food is not going to make me feel better. But sometimes I give in, and sometimes that's my coping mechanism. I still think it's better than drugs and alcohol, which I want to acknowledge that at some point in my life that was my escapism, but I don't want to engage in that anymore. So that's why I'm here now, because, and probably a lot of people will not like this. A lot of people will not like this and will not agree with this. They will say it's unhealthy relationship with food and with your body. But after eating so much, even though I had a great workout today, I just cannot go to bed without doing something more. So I'm going to be swinging this kettlebell when I finish talking with you. I'm going to be swinging. I'm not in the mood for doing multiple different movements and doing an actual structured workout. I'm just going to do kettlebell swings, a couple of sets to complete failure. Why am I doing this? I'm not going to burn off the calories from that meal with these kettlebell swings, but just to, I'm not trying to punish myself further, but this is the type of relationship that I have with myself, and I just wanted to share it with you. You can take it as you want. I'm not suggesting that you should do the same, but this is the relationship that I have with myself. Because at the end of the day, I don't think I have deserved that type of indulgence or indulgement. Forgive me, I haven't used that word in this context before. I didn't deserve to indulge so much in food. So it's not like I have been dieting. If I was on a strict diet for a couple of weeks and I felt kind of hungry, I did it multiple times. Then I allow myself to go crazy on food. But in this situation, no. For the last couple of weeks and months, I've been going to bed well fed. I was never hungry. I stay lean because I'm working out a lot. I mean, not a lot. Yes, a lot in terms of intensity, and I try to walk and I try to run as much as I can. But it's not about. That's why I stay lean. But that's also besides the point. This type of indulging or indulgence, I think, needs to be deserved. That's just the relationship that I have with myself. So after I allowed myself to have this binge eating episode, I allowed myself, okay, you're feeling sad, you're feeling lonely, you had a productive day, okay, you don't have anything else to do for today, okay, go crazy on food. I allowed myself that. But when I finished and didn't feel good about it, I just decided, okay, now that it's not a regret, it's clarity after doing something that you thought would make you feel good, but it doesn't make you feel good. Men are familiar with that type of clarity after they do certain things. So that's how I decided I'm going to do this. And from purely fitness side of things, if you care to hear my rationale, I say it quite often that apologies, I'm on a rooftop and someone is pointing something like flashlight at me. From a fitness perspective, what I'm doing is, I often say on Instagram, I've been talking about it multiple years now. Yes, it's true that you cannot outwork a shitty diet, but you can outwork a subpar diet. So what I mean by that, this one day is not important. I can go to bed and it's okay. It's okay. But this is more for my peace of mind, because I have adopted this philosophy a long time ago when it comes to nutrition and food and physical training. Yeah. We cannot focus just on, clean diet. Clean diet, it's an equation of how much calories you're putting inside and how much calories are you spending. And then people tell you that your physique is all about, and especially if you want to be lean, it's all about food. How? If you're talking about calories in and calories out, what are calories out? Calories that you're spending. So you want to tell me that it doesn't matter if you're going to not work out, if you're going to work out but it's going to be bodybuilding style training of just sitting on the bench the whole time, not moving. Your physical activity is okay, it's better than nothing. But what is your physical activity? 1 hour of sitting with total of 15 minutes of active work. Or I don't want to even mention powerlifting. If someone who is training powerlifting is watching this, all respect to you for your patience and your consistency. But I mean, in terms of physical activity, what are you doing? So when we are talking about calories out, you want to tell me that all of those things are same? Not training, bodybuilding style training, powerlifting style training, and someone who is running 5 times per week, who is doing interval training, someone who is doing martial arts, someone who is doing CrossFit. You want to put that all in the same category and say that this doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is food. Ridiculous. It's criminal that there are actually even fitness professionals who say just focus on food if you want to be lean. No, if you want to be lean, focus on what type of physical activity you're doing. So it doesn't matter on a day, on a level of one day, like my situation right now. I'm not doing this to I'm not doing this now to offset what I've eaten. Okay, maybe 5% of my of of my motivation to do this now is to burn off some additional calories. Of course, yes, but it's more of embodying my philosophy. My philosophy when it comes to nutrition and training. Embodying my philosophy and following through to what I say. Yes, you can eat a lot and you can allow yourself to have some binge eating episodes as long as you're a truly physically active person. And truly physically active person in how I see it is not people who go again. Maybe I'm calling some of you guys out, but it's not someone who goes in Crocs shoes or slippers into the gym. Okay, slippers or Crocs if you're going to uh, take them off and then train barefoot. But if you're able to do your workout in Crocs or slippers without feeling uncomfortable, it means that you're not moving too much. That's how I see it. Most of the time. Of course, there are exceptions. So that's pretty much it from the fitness side of this whole situation. I just want to remind myself that I'm a physically active person and to feel less. Not even it's not guilt. Maybe a little bit shame, not really guilt, bit of shame for um, eating the amount of food that I think it's just it's a matter of having manners to. I think if you're eating in public, not to eat a portion for 4 people if you are one person. I think it's a matter of showing your manners. But maybe I am too old school, or maybe I'm completely crazy for even saying this. Maybe no one will be able to relate, but this is for you to see and to judge any way you want my relationship with myself, with my body, with the food that I'm eating. And I want to tell you, maybe you are alone this Christmas. I hope you have a healthy coping mechanism, or you don't need to cope at all. It's not even about Christmas. Any day can happen to you to feel, if you're far away from your loved ones, to feel slightly sad and lonely. I truly hope you're not turning to drugs and alcohol when it feels too dark. And if you're indulging in food, I hope that at the very least, after that, you go on a bit longer walk. Physical activity matters from fitness standpoint, but also from standpoint of your mental well-being. You have to move. For those who think that my relationship with food is not healthy, maybe it isn't, but this is how I roll. I have allowed myself to go crazy, and now to go crazy on food, and now I will go crazy on this kettlebell, and it will make me feel better. For those who would maybe say it's okay, just go to sleep, it's okay, it's just one day, that's completely valid. And I think if someone also is training really hard, at least 5 times per week, and has this sort of day of eating this much, it's completely fine. Just go to bed. I'm just sharing what I do and how I treat myself after I treated myself with some food. That's it. Now I will. Now we'll, let's try do at least one. Let's do at least one to absolute failure. And I don't know, because obviously I'm recording this without any script and without any plan. We will see. I will do at least one, and then I will check to see how many minutes have this been going on. Maybe speed up or even stop the video after I completed one set. That's it. What more can I say? If you're watching this during Christmas, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. I hope if you're celebrating, I hope that you're spending it with your loved ones. I hope you're having a great time. I hope you are spending it in good health and joy. That's a literal translation of how I would say it in my language, how we say for all holidays. May you spend it with your loved ones in good health and joy. That's what I wish for you. And if you are alone on this day, I'm sending my love to you. Keep your head up. Better times are coming ahead, and you will be reunited with your loved ones, and maybe you will meet some new people who will become loved ones. So keep your head up if you're feeling lonely today or any day. I got your back, and I'm sure that you are not as lonely as you feel right now. There are people who care about you. That's it. Subscribe, like. If you watched the video this far, you really impressed me, because I think this was a long rant. I'm not aware of what's the current time of this video, the current length. But if you watched the whole thing, I would like for you to let me know in the comments. If you watched the whole thing, wow, I need to find a way to repay you. You're amazing. Either way, all of you are amazing. Subscribe, like, comment. Take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. Talk to you soon. Talk to you every day. Stay strong, love life, and never feel sorry for yourself.